Hello everybody, David Shuster here. A jihad, a clown show. That's how liberal and conservative legal analysts are now describing Trump Attorney General Pam Bondi. The brutal criticism comes in the wake of Bondi's Justice Department arresting and putting handcuffs on Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan.
The criminal complaint says Judge Dugan knew ICE agents were going to arrest an undocumented migrant after his hearing, so she decided to step in. His name is Eduardo Flores Ruiz, and he's an undocumented migrant from Mexico facing battery charges. In part of the complaint, investigators say the judge took him through a door, which leads to a non-public part of the courthouse. Ruiz then made it outside, and ICE agents had to chase him down the street. Now, a week later, federal agents arrested Judge Dugan at the courthouse. And during her first court appearance Friday, her attorney said she, quote, wholeheartedly regrets and protests her arrest.
But Attorney General Pam Bondi says Judge Dugan and others who engaged in alleged obstruction against federal immigration and customs enforcement agents deserve to be arrested. And Bondi says she was shocked any judge would do anything to make federal deportations more difficult.
We could not believe, actually, that a judge really did that. They're deranged is all I can think of. I cannot believe. I think some of these judges think they are beyond and above the law, and they are not.
The charges against Judge Dugan include a felony and a misdemeanor for obstruction. The judge was apparently angry that ICE authorities came to her courtroom unannounced to snatch the defendant while he was at a hearing on another matter. Usually when a government official, like a judge, is charged with a white-collar, nonviolent crime, federal prosecutors and the FBI will work out an arrangement for the official to turn themselves in. But in Judge Dugan's case, the Justice Department decided to put the judge in handcuffs and have her do a perp walk of sorts in front of the cameras. Here's conservative legal analyst Andrew Napolitano.
They overreached by arresting her. If there's an issue in a white-collar case with a public official, like there was here in New York with Mayor Adams, you don't stop him on the street and put handcuffs on him. You say to his lawyer, we need to talk to you about whether or not you will voluntarily surrender because we're about to charge you with a crime. But because they're on a bit of a jihad against judges, they decided to make an example out of this. I think this is the wrong case out of which to make an example. I think she has immunity. She can decide where a person leaves her courtroom from and what she says to that person, and she can't be prosecuted for it.
But the Dugan case will be worked out in federal court. The U.S. Attorney's Office, which works for Attorney General Pam Bondi, did get an arrest warrant for Judge Dugan. Ironically, ICE agents had no arrest warrant for the migrant they intended to take from the judge's courtroom. The spectacle of Judge Dugan's arrest, combined with the heavy-handed approach the Justice Department has taken towards undocumented migrants, has sparked alarm bells across the legal spectrum. It's also generating some waves politically, because the latest polls now show that while a majority of Americans do support deporting undocumented migrants, a majority of Americans still want migrants to get due process as articulated by the Constitution. And with the polls showing most Americans now disapprove of the Trump administration's handling of immigration, given the frequent bypass of due process, Democrats are pouncing and hammering the Trump Justice Department.
This is all a clown show. This is clearly an attempt by the Trump administration to declare war on the judicial branch, which is laid out in our Constitution as separate and co-equal to his executive branch. In my perspective, this is about intimidation and intimidating any potential judges over the next several years that could stand in the way of whatever Donald Trump wants to do. I do also think it's interesting that, look, this woman was arrested. That rarely happens while a judge is performing their duty. And so I think Pam Bondi's response tells you all you need to know, that this seems to be a politically motivated action more than anything else.
Still, despite all of the criticism and all of the underwater public polling numbers on the Justice Department's aggressive approach, Attorney General Pam Bondi remains as defiant as ever.
And we're sending a very strong message today. If you are harboring a fugitive, we don't care who you are. If you are helping hide one, if you are giving a TDA member guns, anyone who is illegally in this country, we will come after you and we will prosecute you.
We will find you, says the Attorney General. And again, the issue for most Americans is that there is a lawful constitutional way to find and arrest people who have allegedly broken the law. And there is an unlawful, tyrannical approach that so often seems to be taken by the Trump administration. Several federal judges have ruled against the administration and blocked Justice Department efforts to bypass the Constitution. But now it seems that Pam Bondi's Justice Department and Fox News want to highlight a few local judges who have been arrested and paint the entire judiciary as rotten and un-American. It's a dangerous game the Trump administration is playing for PR purposes. And the fact is, the Trump administration wouldn't have to delegitimize the courts if Pam Bondi's Justice Department was actually following the law and honoring the Constitution. Instead, Bondi's prosecutors keep getting handed courtroom defeats, and even conservative legal analysts can see what's happening and are calling out Bondi's prosecutors for cutting corners and trampling on the Constitution. By the way, police in Florida are now facing a $10 million lawsuit for arresting the wrong man in a Walmart store.
Where are you taking him?
Wants you trespass as well, so let's go.
For what? For grocery shopping?
In the Spring Hill, Florida Walmart, that man being arrested is Tony Nagwin. His crime? Shopping while Asian. Moments earlier, Walmart protection specialist David Pettigrew mistakenly thought Nagwin was this man, Cody Vonderland.
There's an Asian male in the store right now. His name is Cody Vonderland. He is trespassed from the store. He is not allowed to be here, and he also tends to be violent and carries weapons.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.